Welcome to this full playthrough of the Bureau of Happiness, my Epic MegaJam 2017 entry. So for the reason I'm doing a full playthrough with commentary is this game doesn't really have audio, so I figured might as well comment. Also, the game itself was a bit cryptic. You didn't really have much guidance on where to use the items, who and the puzzles, and a bit of the story behind the scenes. And here's the little girl you play as. She'll give you a hug right now. And there we go. Okay, let's restart this. So there's two stories. You have the main screen didn't have time to do a title. There's two main stories. There's one where this person reading this comic book by flashlight. I'll tell you more about that again in time. And there's also this little girl that so mommy's leaving, don't know if she can do this today. You're chasing her out, trying to give her a hug. You're not fast enough, she runs out. So the other story is you're this little girl. You wanted to give your mommy a hug. She's unhappy. She left without getting a hug. You chase her to work, and you're trying to find her in the Bureau of Happiness where she works to give her that hug. So here we are at the entrance of the Bureau of Happiness. In the upper corner, you have your actions. Right now, hug or ask for where's mommy. These people I can hug. They say thank you. They are queuing to the bureau. There's 5 doors over there for the main queue. They want to be happy. This is a world that's pretty depressing. They're coming to this government office to essentially, get evaluated and get their pills. I'll get into that later. So let's go into the lobby entrance. We're going to walk over to the receptionist, which, how can I help you? We can go and hug, but they don't really want to hug. What they want is you to ask, where is my mommy? And they give you the visitor's pass. Not much discussion, didn't have time to do many text bubbles. So with the visitor's pass, first let's go in the building. So this is the main triage area, where these 5 queues coalesce into a line of 1. They walk over to the clerk, and the clerk gives them a paper, and that form they take to the next room, which is the master queue, which they go to this clerk, and he assigns, like this guy had a blue paper, next guy has an orange paper. Each paper leads them to a different queue, which is evaluation, where you go to be evaluated for how happy you are. Discovery, where they help you discover what makes you happy. Refill, where you go to get new pills. And services, which is just a maze of bureaucratic rooms and queues, never ending, just loops back. So now we have the visitor's pass, so we're going to go to the employee entrance to have access to all the back rooms. So the employee entrance has this guard, and if you give him the visitor's pass, he just moves out of the way, lets you in. So here, first place we're going to go is inside the typing room. We're going to hug random people just because we can. They're going to leave. But we're going to go to this guy, which is the manager of the typing pool, and we're going to give him a nice big long hug. And he misses his kids. But this allows him to move out of the way if we let him pass. And now we can pick up this item, which is the lockup key. The lockup key gives us access to this little back room here. You can see there's a red dot on the top to indicate there's a locked door. Now we have the key, we can walk in. This is the confiscation area. And in here there's every item items that lead to happiness or other that have been confiscated. So here's alcohol. Now we're going to go grab this candy, this puppy, and a dirty magazine. These are all items we're going to need later. So next, we're going to go to the back of the triage area. And in here you have all the forms that they're giving away for the next zones. So we're going to steal them. This will prevent the triage clerk from actually giving those forms away to the people, which means the queues are going to start clearing up, making it easier to pass. So let's take discovery, well, the evaluation form, discovery. We're going to leave refill. We don't need it. And we'll take service requests. So we're going to go back out. We're going to go in the back of the master queue into the storage locker and pick up a hammer. And we actually don't need to go anywhere else for now in these other rooms. So let's run out of here. Oops. Accidentally went back through the same door. So the next location we need to head to is into Discovery. I didn't walk into the back to show you, but if you go into in the back of the evaluation section, there's a clerk that's crying. The reason, actually, let's go back to the main queue. This first door is locked here because the crying clerk is not processing the queue. He's too sad to work, so nothing is moving forward. He's essentially not working. And what's happening is the evaluation section is jammed up. It's not moving along. Now this waiting room is completely empty because we took away all the forms for discovery. So there's nobody walking in and sitting down and being processed anymore. Which means the rooms back here are unlocked. If we hadn't taken the form, all these rooms are locked, which prevents us from walking in here and picking up a stuffed animal. And the stuffed animal is what we're going to give to that clerk that's sad. So you have to get the area not busy to be able to go into the back rooms and do what you need to do. So now we need to walk all the way to the back access to that clerk to give him the stuffed animal, and then that will unlock the door and start processing the queue again. So here we go. Here's the clerk that says, "Can't stop crying, stuffed animal, thank you." And he'll start calling the people waiting on the chairs, and the queue starts being processed. So we're going to head back through that area. This is not the build from the MegaJam. There's a couple of bugs fixed, like the pages when they flip, they actually showed each page, the content of each page. In the MegaJam build, the current frame would be repeated on the flipping page. The back page would show the right page, but the flipping page would always show the current page, well, the destination page actually. So that bug's been fixed. I also increased the walk speed so you can actually travel a little bit faster. And the other thing too, there was a glitch where you could end the game a bit earlier. You could skip the section that I'm going to do next by just as soon as you get to your mom, you could hug her, and you didn't need to do this this next section. You could hug her and it would end the game. So what we're doing here is we're going to grab this extraction pass. which this is the evaluation room. So what's going on here is people that get evaluated for how happy they are. If they're discovered to be happy, they are sent back. Are given the extraction pass and sent back to this back room here. Here's the guard. We're going to give him the extraction pass, otherwise he wouldn't let us through. So they're sent back here, and you see these big green pipes that have some green liquid flowing through. Well, that's basically happiness. It's just distilled happiness, because they're sent back in here where you can see the pipes with like big needles going into a guy with a frown in the back. They're extracting happiness. Every time they find people that are happy, they send them back there, they extract their happiness, they put them on a pill regiment that essentially keeps them as drones. Now this guy, the doctor, is blocking me. He needs to learn to value life. So what we're going to give him is a puppy. So he quits, he leaves the room. We're good, he's out of the way. Next thing we need to do, we need to get this guy out, and that's why we picked up the hammer earlier. So we're going to smash the happiness extraction machine. The pipes have gone black. This guy is no longer contained. So we're just going to give him a hug. He's smiling now. And he's going to leave the room too. He's very happy. He got hugged by a little girl. He got some love. He's no longer hooked up to these big needles, which, yeah, must not have been pleasant. So now what we've ended up doing is all of these tubes, they go all the way to the top floor to the boss, which is basically a monster consuming all of this happiness juice from everybody, creating this dystopia where everybody is drained, unhappy, depressed. They're given pills for control. And speaking of pills, that's the next thing we're going to do, is we're going to go upstairs. Actually, we're going to go to back of the pill storeroom, or back of the refill section to the pill storeroom, and we're going to swap the pills with candy. So we're going to wake up some people from being drones. So let's go all the way to the back. This is where everybody was queuing up to get their pills. Now in here, switch to candy. Let's put these barrels, let's flag them as candy. Place all the pills with candy, get people happy. The other thing we're going to do is, whoops, I keep walking through the same door. Let me hold directional. Okay. So the other thing we're going to do also is we're going to get rid of all the guards in the building. So there's guards blocking my way if I want to get to the upper floors. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this dirty magazine in the guards' locker room. And now all the guards except the boss's personal guards are gone. If we had tried to go upstairs, we would have been taken outside. So they're all gathered here looking at a dirty magazine. Now let's go see those people that have been fed candy. They're outside in the front here. They're not queuing up. What these people want is alcohol. Once we give them alcohol, they're like, booze, let's party. And from here, if we just walk into a room and walk back out, guards have been dispatched. It was supposed to be an intercom message that basically the boss dispatches all guard, even his personal guards, to the front yard to control the party. Now before we go to hug mom, this is the refill area. We actually don't need to go here. This is just a long hallway of cute people. So yeah, we don't need to go here. And the last section, which was the service area, again, there was actually no story elements in there. But if we go in, it's a series of yellow rooms that are, it was a maze. Every room has a chair in it. Actually well, this room has one chair because it's room number 1. If we go out to the side, this is room number 3. It has 3 chairs. Every room is numbered by the number of chairs that are actually in the room. And the rooms, their doors are not actually connected logically. They are just randomly, every room is randomly connected, and you have to come back to room 1 and exit down to be able to go back to Master Q. So that was just a maze to get lost in. There was absolutely no purpose to it. It was just to, well, just a little impediment for the player. Originally also there was going to be monitors in every room that were basically playing a loop of smile, be happy, static, things like that. And you had to use the hammer to smash them too. But that never, I didn't have time to do that either. And that's where the service area was going to have a lot of monitors. So what we're going to do now is go upstairs since everything is ready for us to take on the boss. This room that we're going to would have had a guard blocking it. It's the executive lobby. If we go in to see the executives, they're just another bunch of party people. You can give them booze. Nothing really happens. There's just no actual elements in this room. So we go up higher up. This room had 3 guards that would have taken you back to the entrance if they catch you. They're gone now. There's your, whoops, I accidentally walked through the door. There's your mom. If I try to give her alcohol, she's like, I don't need that. If I hug her, let me just see my inventory here. If I hug her, she will basically, my boss, I just can't. So let's go face that boss. So you've got this big unhappy black blob. Before, if you haven't turned off the happiness extraction machine, these big pipes on the side were green, flowing into him. He had a smile, he was content, he was smug. That was it. Now he's unhappy. He doesn't have his happiness juice. He's making everybody's life miserable. He's a villain. All he needs is a hug. You give him a nice big hug, and the animation doesn't actually trigger, but you walk in, you walk out. Now he's got a big smile, he's happy, the boss is dealt with. You can go back to your mom, give her a nice big hug. She tells you she loves you. You get taken home, and then you just give her a big hug again. She was supposed to hug back since she's your same model. She would have had the same animation. That wasn't put in. You give her a big hug, she loves you again, and the end. And that's it. That was the Bureau of Happiness, my Epic MegaJam entry for 2017. Thank you very much, and good night.